Welcome, everybody. How is it going? It's the RambleCast, and today is February 4th, 2026. I'm your host, Cody Toombs, and with me I have Corbin Davenport.
Hello.
So, um, oh, good. Okay, for a second it's like, wait, why did my audio just cut out? It was between tracks. That's why. Um, we are probably going to have a relatively short show because this last week has been the definition of lame. Um, it's it's not that there hasn't been news, but Corbin and I both kind of agreed looking through it. It's mostly news that we would describe it, have literally nothing to say, and then move on to the very next thing. And that doesn't sound like a very interesting show. At least I don't think so.
Yeah, it's been a great week if you care about uh Gen AI coding and like some other niches like that. I don't have much to say on those matters. So,
Yeah, and we are going to briefly bring that up in one of the topics, but yeah, it's not super great. Austin, you have an MRI appointment tonight? Dude, I am sorry. I hope.
don't bring metal in there.
That, yeah. Yeah,
Do not bring your phone while watching the RambleCast in there. That's not a good idea.
no. However, if you can find a way to put the Ramblecast on to listen, then it's routine. Yay. Okay, awesome. That is the kind of MRI you want to have.
Routine big scary magnet.
Yes. Big scary loud magnet.
Yeah. And also everyone missed the unboxing already, but I did finally in the mail get my Samsung Galaxy XR. Behold. I've not turned it on yet, but I did fully assemble it. And it's charging. So I'll probably I might put that on in like 15 minutes and keep going like it's normal. Because I think that would also be very funny.
I still think it would have been funnier if you just wore it straight through the intro, but hey,
Yeah.
who am I to judge?
Yeah, it's not on, so I can't see. Did I get the $300 controllers? Let's see. Yes, but they were $250. And I did. Yeah, so they were $250, and then I had a educational discount because I had a Samsung account when I had my one semester of community college, or not community college, a technical college. And that just never expires, I guess. And I don't think that email address works anymore, but as long as the password still works and I don't need to verify that account again, it still works. So
I love how that's still one of the best strategies for getting things cheap is just get a college email address. It doesn't have to be legitimate. You don't have to prove you even went to college. Like there are schemes where all you had to do was go to a college, sign up for it, never pay anything. You just cancel, like you sign up to become a student there. You schedule classes, never pay for them, you cancel everything, but you somehow still get an email address that you get to use for like a few months. And yeah, you can use that to verify. Like this is the weirdest, dumbest thing we have.
Now, like, Apple and other companies are being a little bit more proactive about checking if you're still a student, but
yes. Yeah. However, Apple, granted, Apple flips back and forth on this policy, but they have tried this so many times. They have gone into crackdown mode, and every single time it lasts for like a few months, and then they bail out of it again when they hear from, I mean, statistically what usually happens, they hear from parents who are saying, we want to use the educational discount, but how the hell are we supposed to do that? Like, we don't verify. And Apple's like, oh yeah, oh, we screwed up again, you're right. And then they just quietly stop checking again. It's how it happens literally every time. So
Yeah,
I honestly don't know why they're still bothering.
yeah, and Samsung's discount was not like a lot, but in my, primitive monkey brain, I was like, I needed like at least one changed variable here for me to not feel bad about spending this much money, and that was the one variable. So
yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, so I'll be trying that out later. Maybe something to talk about when I'm back here in week after the next. Maybe I'll wear it. Maybe I'll join as the freakish, virtual avatar guy in this Google Meet call.
I mean, that seems like the only thing you can do now. You've brought it up.
Yeah.
You brought that thought into the world, and now you're obligated to do it.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to change my hair color in there, I'm assuming.
I suppose we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's true yet.
I'll see what the customization. What are the avatar options that Google made?
Yeah.
So
speaking of Google,
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Google had a surprise announcement today, like actually surprising. I don't think anyone had a heads up that I saw. Although it is an announcement of an announcement, so it doesn't really count, but it's still like, it's enough an announcement that we can talk about it.
Sort of.
Technically more exciting than nothing happening.
Yeah, I guess. It's they did in fact pre-announce the announcement of a phone, the Pixel 10a. So what you're seeing is literally all the detail that they gave. You're seeing right now basically the top of the Google store. It says Google Pixel 10a pre-order February 18th. They highlight that you can get an exclusive offer if you sign up for emails, and evidently
what Samsung does every time,
for new subscribers only, and available to select recipients of marketing emails. Which, really, I mean, come on, just if people are signed up to your email list, just give them the damn offer. It's so crappy to be snarky about that. That being said, couldn't you just, I mean, I don't know, but couldn't you possibly just go in, unsubscribe, and then resubscribe? I don't know. I don't expect to be buying this, so I'm not too worried about it, but hey, I guess we'll see. Yeah, anyway, they show the back of the Pixel 10a. Also, they basically showed the sides, and it looks like a Pixel.
Looks exactly the same.
Yeah,
exactly the same as the last one.
Yeah, they really changed literally nothing, I think.
Which, in turn, looks a lot like... Is Apple still doing the sort of like boxy design with curved edges, or did they change that on the iPhone, on the new iPhone?
Last I recall, it's basically exactly the same as it's been the last like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, because I know that's Apple's current thing, is they had the phase where they had like rounded off edges on all the sides. But like in the last couple of years, like on my iPhone 15 here, it is like
flat sides,
flat sides.
Aside from like where the parts come together.
Yeah.
It's... Oh, the camera is supposedly completely flush now, which, okay. So maybe minor tweak, but probably not.
Yeah, something. If I pulled up the Pixel 9a product page because I forgot what that phone looked like, and the camera bump is very, very slight. So little change there. So congrats to Google for bringing us the phone that you can once again place on a table and it will not wobble as you touch it.
I don't think even the last one wobbled. Like, it didn't come out that far. It was just there. Like, it was enough that you'd have some air underneath it, but not enough to really cause I mean, I guess if you're really sitting there trying to get a wobble, you will, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's not too interesting. Also, I really quick just flipped over to the YouTube video that they showed, which, yeah, it's basically the exact same, but this is where most people saw the initial announcement. It's pretty unremarkable. Not to rain on their parade, but I feel like if you're going to do a teaser, leak the tiniest bit more than this. They didn't even hint at like anything relating to Gemini. They didn't hint at anything relating to the camera. They didn't hint at anything. I guess they did hyper focus a little on the camera, so maybe that is their hint, but yeah, I don't know. This just doesn't feel like a lot.
No. Also, yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot to go on here. I probably don't need to talk in circles for 20 minutes, but
Agreed.
I am once again wondering if Google is finally going to do. Does the current Pixel have Qi2/MagSafe?
The Pixel 10 does. The 9 does not. None of the A series so far have had it. So this one, I consider it a coin flip whether or not it will, because I mean, if we're looking, and there's no reason why this is a good reference point, but let's just use it. If we look at Apple's budget iPhone, it does not have Qi 2.
6 to 17E, whatever the E is.
Yeah.
I forgot what the number is.
Yeah, it took. I wasn't
16E.
16. Okay. Yeah. So Apple didn't put it in their budget model. Now that doesn't mean Google can't put it in their budget model, but if there is any sort of pattern here, if it does cost more, then that certainly is something Google might choose to forego in the name of cutting a cost. So we'll find out. I don't know. I'm in the boat where I think if Google wants to kind of we'll say win, the smart play really is put it in there. Even if they're not, like, even if it's going to cost a little bit more, put it in just so you can kind of win the fight between the two. And then you can be like, look, our budget does the thing that Apple's budget won't.
I mean, you could even go, like, they're not going to do this because no one's snipey like this in tech ads anymore. But like, it would be a fun visual to do a commercial of like Google attaching Apple's own MagSafe stuff to their phones, and then it not like falling off the budget iPhone because it doesn't have the magnets.
Okay, I agree.
That'd be cute.
That would actually be a really good one. And bear in mind, they still do the Apple and iPhone talking to each other ads, so they're definitely still snarky and petty would be the wrong word, but certainly taking slaps at Apple. And Apple takes, I don't know that Apple takes a lot of slaps at Google, but I'm sure they probably would or have. So yeah, I could totally see them doing that. As a matter of fact, now that I've said it, I would almost bet money that there will be another one of those like app or Pixel versus iPhone videos where the Pixel will absolutely be using Apple's accessories. Those will never air on TV. They'll get very little playtime on the internet, but they'll exist, and people will get a good laugh out of it. At least assuming that they do put it into this phone, which I guess we'll see. Also, just to highlight this one fun little coincidence, the pre-order day, which I'm sure is also the announcement day, just so happens to be the next day Corbin will be on the RambleCast. So we already know our topic for that week.
Only my headset.
Yes. Corbin will virtually be on the RambleCast.
Yeah. Yeah, with my weird dude.
Yes. Um. Uh, oh, Hoopy, you say that you have seen that format of pixel ad in theaters? I admit I haven't been to a theater since those ads started happening, so I wouldn't have noticed them. But I actually, yeah, I could kind of imagine those being played in theaters. That seems like a
The
good venue for them.
the which ones? Sorry, I zoned out for a second.
The Pixel versus iPhone
Yeah,
ads where they're talking
I've
to each other.
yeah, I've seen one of those, and then there was another one they made in conjunction with Wicked for Good,
Ah, okay.
where they were singing the song from the movie.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Um, okay, so I hate to say it, but I think we have thoroughly and completely talked this to death. Like, there's just nothing else to say. All I think we're really gonna wait for is, are there any specs that are in any way unusual? Do they support Qi 2, basically MagSafe? And what's going to be the perk when you buy it? Which, as Austin suggested, and I tend to suspect is probably the case, they'll probably offer Gemini Lite, I think was the name of it. Um, so yeah, I guess we'll see. Um, anyway, moving on, I suppose.
Yep.
Cool. To Firefox Firefox is giving a little bit. Oh, sorry, it's AI Plus, or no, Gemini. Oh yeah, okay, it's Gemini AI Plus, and wait, no, there's no AI Go, it's AI Pro. Okay, anyway, so yeah. Firefox is getting the option to turn off AI. Corbin, I'll let you
Yeah.
explain.
So Firefox has been adding a few machine learning AI features over the last like 2 years.
And you hate it.
I hate most of them. The first big one was a local model for page translation, which is very cool. That's pretty cool to not have to use like Google Translate or whatever to translate pages. I'm not a fluent multilingual speaker, so I can't attest to its accuracy. But when I've come across a page in Spanish or German or something and I translate it, it looks, like normal machine translated English text to me. I can understand whatever it was saying. So that was cool, but they've also added like they were using some local AI model for like trying to organize your tabs into groups for you. There's one for like generating alternative text for images and PDFs, which is cool because that's something also that like I made a browser extension to do for myself. So I'm not a fan of some of them, and especially I'm not a fan of what Chrome or what all the Chromium browsers and I believe Firefox have now, which is a just general purpose model in the browser that web apps can use with an API. So like if a website wants to have like a rewrite this in a different tone feature, they don't necessarily have to be plugged into an OpenAI API or something. They can just call an API to the browser and the browser will run it through whatever model it has. For Chrome, that's Gemini Nano, I believe. I don't know what Firefox is using, but I'm not really a fan of that because then there's like always like some generative AI model that gets spun up and down in the background and maybe eats your battery. And I don't imagine there's any like web features I would ever want to use from that. So, you know, not a really big fan. And there was one case, it didn't happen for me, but one of the local AI models, there was a bug where it was just like eating CPU and battery like there's no tomorrow, which
It
can
was
happen for
mining
anything.
Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah, which can happen like for any software bug, but because it was like attached to a feature I would never have used anyway, it was more annoying. But at long last, when when a lot of this was happening, there was some blowback. So I don't know if it was the CEO, but someone higher up at Mozilla promised there would be an AI kill switch in the browser. Because part of the issue here is like everything that was getting rolled out, if it had a setting, which not all of them did, they were like an additional thing to turn off. So like there was never a button anywhere that's like, I don't want AI. Never turn on an AI feature when you make a new one. I don't want it. So now that is what they've added. So in Firefox Nightly, there is now a AI controls settings page that has just a very basic enabled or blocked drop down menu on every feature, including the. Also, I forgot what they had is a while ago, Firefox added a sidebar that you can open like Google Gemini or ChatGPT and whatever you want. Which so I didn't want that, but then they also had like an option in the right click menu for like send the current page to the sidebar. So it's like another junk thing I don't want to use. So they have checkboxes for all those now individually, and there is also just a full turn everything on or off switch. So in theory, if you switch that off, you will never see any of these, including when they add new ones, hopefully. Um, and they mentioned this blog post. They say, you know, th- this is worded very much like we're special for giving you the choice because not every web browser is giving you the choice. Which it is true that this is better than like Microsoft Edge in that I don't imagine Firefox will mysteriously forget your settings and turn it back on. But Chrome, I believe, already has opt outs for all the Gemini features. Um, it's just that you have to turn them off individually, like Firefox was, or Firefox still is, because this is only in the nightly builds of Firefox right now. But the blog post is very like, isn't it great we're giving you the choice? And I have to roll my eyes at that a little bit because it's like, well, it, giving me the choice would be opt in to all of these. That's what that means. This is still kind of like we're gonna turn it on, and if you don't like it, you can go hunt down the settings if you want. Um, so I would consider this like the bare minimum they should have had in place before adding this kind of stuff. Like I think it's fine now. Again, I would like it to be opt in. Um, but I'm not like a. I understand like some of these are useful and they're not directly connected to each other, but it still rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. Um, and I have to also point out that I made the just the browser project, and I'll put that in the YouTube chat again. That disables this, and I'll point this out not just in shameless self promotion, but to point out that Firefox had a group policy setting that did this. That was like a general toggle for all AI features or individual ones. And I checked, and I believe that was added into Firefox update in like October. So 4 months ago, these settings existed in stable Firefox. There was just not a way for normal people to access them, which again adds a little bit more frustration to me. Where it's like, well, you recognize that there is a need to turn this off, but not for normal people. Only if you're a IT guy rolling out Firefox for your school or company computers or whatever. So kind of a bare minimum here. It's nice to see, but like really should have been there from the start. And the other things Mozilla is doing are making me a little bit nervous.
Understandable. Um, I mean, they've developed a really bad history for some bad decisions. Yeah, so I admit I don't have a lot to say on this. I guess I commend them for getting it right eventually.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is kind of like the base of what I would expect everyone to do. I mean, really, all software that's adding like Gen AI stuff, I think there just needs to be a clear toggle somewhere. And some apps do that. Some apps it's opt in. But Firefox took a while to get there, and this is still in Firefox Nightly. So, best case scenario, this will be in Firefox Stable in a month. It might take longer because it's the same as Chrome. It's got Nightly, and then it goes to beta, and then it goes to stable. I don't know how quickly it will jump through those channels. I would imagine quickly, because again, these settings already existed. The hard part was just adding a interface for them.
Yeah. Which, it's weird. That's the hard part, but so it goes. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a lot else here to say on that, but let's hope they take some sort of opportunity to learn a little bit more from this, and maybe have a little bit more thought about whether or not they should add these things without toggles in the future. And maybe whether or not, well, I'm sure they'll have some sort of telemetry in Firefox to tell them how many people are turning this stuff off. And when they see some numbers, it'll be interesting if they turn around and go, oh crap, people do not want this stuff. All right, hey, focus our attention elsewhere. I don't think they'll learn that lesson, but we can hope. Anyway, so speaking of companies that are learning their lessons about AI, Apple is trying to get kudos for Xcode. Something that I think most developers can already generally agree is Xcode needs help. I'm not sure that this is the help that anyone was necessarily looking for, but it is getting the help in the form of, better vibe coding. Yeah, they're adding, or rather updating Xcode so that it works better with, what was the name of the protocol? MTP or MCP? MCP. It's Model Context Protocol, which is basically
Master Control Program from Tron, the hit 1982 science fiction film starring Jeff Bridges.
Yep, that too. I would not have made that connection, but makes sense. Though I have a weird suspicion that's also probably where the acronym came from in the first place. They just made sure to fit it to match that. And Corbin has gone Tron-like.
Yeah, so it's powered up enough to work now.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a sensor, but
can you hear that? There's a lot of sounds coming out of this. Okay, I'll quiet it down.
I'm actually surprised it is as audible as it is.
Yeah, I mean, my microphone is like 2 inches from this.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. And I was just thinking, normally you would use this with like headphones or earbuds or something on.
Yeah,
and of course you don't. So yeah,
it's been shut up now.
Every once in a while, I can see also the infrared sensor flashing.
Oh yeah, I see it in the preview.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
It's like I feel like a tall building with the FAA mandated blinky light on the top.
Yeah, that's exactly what you are.
Yep.
So that'll be really entertaining when people start trying to use these during video chats, not necessarily to be in a video, like in a virtual video chat or something, but they just start like putting them on while they're talking with people, and everyone's like just watching as the light blinks, because it's strangely hard to look away from random blinking light.
It's pretty fun, pretty alluring.
Turns out I am in fact a cat. Um, so yeah. Anyway, switching back to our uh, somewhat topic. So yeah, basically the change that Apple made, or the update improvement, if you'll call it that, is they basically added support for this protocol MCP, which allows virtual coding agents to um, basically have better access to the IDE. It's not super extensive. It's not like this is giving massive control, but it does give agents a little bit more recognition of the state of the IDE, and it basically gives them the ability to tell the IDE, "Hey, we're updating some files. You should probably just like don't do anything while we do the updates, and then once we're finished, reread everything, start processing it all again, blah blah blah." So I mean that's a very very um simplified or oversimplified explanation of what's been done, but it's in truth, when you look into it, it's not a lot deeper than that. So uh anyway, I think what's more interesting is Apple really wanted everyone to know about this, because this is sort of further enforcing the notion that Apple, in any way possible, is trying to show that it is friendly to AI in whatever form it possibly can. Uh, Obviously, we've already discussed last week. Apple picked Gemini to be its Siri replacement. We've discussed various other things Apple has tried to do to like prove that they're down with the AI, and this is the latest move. Which I'll grant this is actually one of the probably better and smarter things that they could be doing to be down with the AI. It's just really funny that this is becoming almost like a weekly or every other week pattern, where where Apple pops up and is like, "Hey, by the way, we just bought an AI company. Oh, hey, we're back again. We just updated Xcode to support AI. Oh, by the way, we're back this week. We added AI to our note-taking app. Oh, hey, hi, remember us? We're Apple. You always talk about us, but you never seem to mention AI. Can we remind you? By the way, we added AI to Final Cut." This is becoming the pattern. Um, Again, like we commented the last time Corbin was on about how it was actually surprising that they came out with the Creator Studio stuff and didn't talk about AI at all. I mean, well, sorry, they did bring it up because of the there are AI credits attached to or AI related features attached to Final Cut, Logic, etc., etc. But that was it. Like, that was a footnote. It wasn't actually a topic. So, and we were surprised that they didn't make more of an issue out of that. So, yeah, this is just the next step in Apple's just kind of being predictably thirsty for AI attention.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's that as much. I mean, obviously that's always part of it with tech companies and AI right now. I think this is mostly just like a quality of life improvement. Like, this is the kind of stuff that Claude Code already has, that like Visual Studio Code with GitHub Code. That's not, I don't, GitHub Copilot, I think that's what they're calling it
Yes,
now.
it
So
is.
I think this is more just like for the people who have no choice but to use Xcode, to avoid them from pulling their hair out even more than they already are. They can now use the fancy pants expected AI functionality.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't have much to say about this. I still haven't found like a good setup for using AI stuff in my own coding, except just occasionally asking Gemini for something. because I don't really like the cloud integration models that are mainly built into VS Code. This is also one of the use cases, from my understanding, where like the local models don't really cut it,
Mm-hmm.
just because the context size is huge. Because it's obvious at minimum, right? It has to scan the entire file you have open. Best case scenario, it's scanning every file of your entire current project. So uh, the local stuff doesn't really work for that. And I know in VS Code, it does have the ability for you to hook in like the chat sidebar thing to a local model, or whatever service you want. You just tell it, what the API endpoint is and the keys, because a lot of the other services have just built shims around OpenAI's API. But the actual like inline code suggestion stuff, I believe, only works with cloud stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
so
Which I don't know when I'll get around to testing it, but I did see an article just uh, was it this morning? I don't know. It was in the last day or so. That was uh, basically promoting that if for coding use, you could now use Claude Code locally, and that's Claude Code or rather, you could point it to any model you want, including local models. That's the better way to say this. And instead of pointing it to Anthropic servers, you could point it to Olama. And this article was making the assertion that Olama run locally was still good enough for some coding purposes, which I read that and my immediate thought was, are you guys sure? That
mhm.
seems awfully optimistic, and even if it would work, how slow is that going to run? But hey, I don't know. I could be wrong. Um, it's not like I've tried it, and I kind of want to try it just to see, but I'm not too eager to put the
Yeah,
effort in and find out that it's just junk.
the farthest I've got is LM Studio on my Mac with the smaller GPT OSS model.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the parameter size is. I'd have to check. But on my 24 gig memory MacBook Pro, that one is reasonably fast, even when it's doing its full reasoning, self check, multi step stuff, for like chatbot stuff, um, which is neat, but not really the intended use case for vibe coding, as it were.
Right. Yeah. Chatbot stuff is, generally speaking, considerably easier.
Yeah, at that point, it's just another way to get like a Stack Overflow type answer when I need it,
Yeah.
which is good. I can burn my own electricity for that rather than Google's or whatever. But
Right. Um. But yeah, I don't know. So far I've moved on to at least using AI for a little bit of like, do I want to set up a project and get it started? Do I want to get it to a starting position where it's somewhat functional, and that way I don't have to waste time getting some of the boilerplate stuff in? Yeah, then it's great for that. I have tried it. Actually, I just tried it to write a fresh RSS extension the other day, and it did a hilariously good job of making something that can't run. Because what I didn't know is fresh RSS has a limitation on the PHP code, so that you can't do you basically can't do certain types of things in their configuration pages, and I needed to be able to have basically a dynamic configuration page. So yeah, it came up with code that presumably would work. It just doesn't stand a chance of working. So yeah, that was fun. That being said, it was also hilariously bad at answering a simple thing for me. It successfully answered a question for me, which had to do with a certain feature I wanted to know how to do, or if it was possible to do on the App Store or the Apple App Store. So it managed to correctly answer the question and give me details and context for it. But then I asked for projects that implemented a certain workaround. And literally the very first thing it suggested to me was a project that hasn't been on GitHub in 4 years. It was erased 4 years ago. And and for whatever reason is being linked, which was hilarious. Again, this was the first suggestion. Later suggestions did exist, but they were it hallucinated the URLs to them. So I managed to find them by name with searches, but I couldn't follow the links that it provided, which again, hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, at least it didn't give you like a malware library, because it's also
I don't know. It could have.
That's true.
I did not actually test any of these libraries yet.
Because that has happened quite a bit.
Just like it used to give out Windows 10 serial numbers.
Yeah, that's how my PC's activated. Pretend you're my elderly grandmother who had the key to Windows 11 Pro.
Yes. So speaking of malware.
Yeah,
good transition.
There was an update to the Notepad++ situation.
There was a Notepad++ situation. We haven't talked. That only started or was announced 2 days ago.
No, it was, well, this is just, we didn't know the why. We knew the how.
Oh, already. Fair enough. You're right.
So a couple months ago, I think it was a couple months ago, Notepad++ put out an update that changed how its self-updater works, and then they updated some other like security certificate stuff. And they mentioned that there was a malware campaign they discovered where the update servers were being hijacked. So when Notepad++ would check for an update and it saw that there was an update available, it would download it from a server that was compromised, or at least there was like man in the middle compromised, was what their theory. And so they updated it to add like extra, like hash checks for installations, like normal download verification stuff. And this month they announced some more details about this, with some research by security people. And they basically just said that the threat actor was likely a Chinese state-sponsored group, which would explain the highly selective targeting that they noticed during the campaign. Like, this was not a super widespread event. This wasn't like someone hijacked the server and everyone who tried to update Notepad++ in that time period got malwared. And I'll just say they mentioned, according to the former hosting provider, the shared hosting server was compromised until September 2nd, 2025. Even after losing server access, attackers maintained credentials to internal services until December 2nd, which allowed them to continue redirecting Notepad++ update traffic to malicious servers. The attackers specifically targeted the Notepad++ domain with the goal of exploiting insufficient update verification controls that existed in older versions. All remediation and security hardening was completed by the provider by December, and now it's fine. So that was basically it. I think they said that the I think it was the server provider that was targeted, right? I don't think it was like something specific to the Notepad++ team. I say team. I think it's mainly one person.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. It is
as many open source projects are that last forever and are great pieces of software. It's like one dude.
Yeah. Um,
One dude or one trans woman.
s-
Those are the options.
yes. So there is a little bit of a this was a problem on both sides. Um, so yes, the biggest problem, well, it was a problem on both sides. So one of the problems was basically the the hosting provider was not necessarily implementing the strictest security, and while they were able to figure out some of what happened, they couldn't figure out everything. Um, and yeah, that led to obviously part of the problem. So the hosting provider itself was uh, basically allowed some of this attack. The other part of the problem was the update mechanism, because the previous versions of Notepad++ were using a basically a self-created updater, and that self-created updater suffered from the fact that it didn't check the signing certificate in one of the stages of the update, and basically allowed for app updates to occur against, or it allowed an or irregularly signed update, would probably be the best way to say it. An update that was not signed by them. So it's unclear, as far as I'm aware, what Notepad++ or what was done with Notepad++ with the with the incorrectly signed versions, but that is apparently a possible problem. So for those who haven't heard, obviously just check that you can now perform a proper update. If not, delete it and reinstall a new one.
Yep.
And hope that you didn't acquire an infection in the meantime.
Yeah, and I'll paste the just the Notepad++ website in the YouTube chat. That's the one you go to.
Yes.
I assume, if you get it through various mainstream software repositories, it's also fine. But well, this is a Windows app, so it's just this and like
Yeah,
chocolatey and stuff that's just going to link to this. So
pretty much.
yeah, yeah. I don't really have any thoughts here except just what I said before about this, which is it's really dumb that Windows and macOS went so long without like just a built-in like software repository update manager type thing, and how that forces each individual app to create its own solutions for that, which are really difficult to like get working and like harden, security wise. So things like this happen, which ideally would not happen if Microsoft just baked this into Windows, and they kind of do now. Like Windows has like Widget, which is like the backend for the Microsoft Store, but also kind of just a normal package manager thing. Apple like kind of sort of did this with the App Store. I know there's like some other component that some apps use for updates, even if they don't use the App Store, but I don't know how that works exactly. But
Oh, I could explain most of it, but it gets a lot more in the weeds than what you're describing. So
yeah,
I'll just say it's not as simple as that.
yeah. So just like this would have been nice, like this and like a actual cross-platform GUI toolkit, so we didn't end up with Electron for everything. Those would have been nice problems to fix like 15-20 years ago, but because they didn't, this is what we have now.
Yep, pretty much.
I love software, it's great.
So yeah, it's unfortunately kind of dumb, and I've I've been on the side for a long time that eh, we do need, honestly, we need the operating system vendors to be good actors in this arena. And if there's any editorial speech to take away, this is mine. Really, Microsoft and Apple, to exactly what Corbin said. It's kind of crazy that they didn't implement something much sooner that would support and enable developers on the operating system to basically to force a better situation here. Apple has now implemented something. It's working. It just requires that you jump through stupid hoops and that you pay Apple, which is kind of a crappy... well, I mean, I did just finish saying that the operating system vendors need to be good actors here. I would argue this is a bad actor move by Apple, because their signing solution really just doesn't work unless you pay them.
And continue paying them.
Yes, continue paying them every year, which is further insanity. Though technically, if you're distributing outside of the store, you don't have to pay them every year to continue running the app. You only have to pay them if you're going to release new updates to it, which is still stupid, but at least that's slightly less offensive. Slightly, narrowly less offensive. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah. So, and Microsoft, balls in your court, guys. Get your crap together and maybe work out a good solution for this.
If only they were still actively
developing Windows.
If only they were actively. Well, they just told like half of the Windows install base to go die. So probably not going to help those people, but something that'd be nice to have.
Yeah. So, I don't think I have much more to spout on about with this one.
Nope.
So, believe it or not, we're pretty much to kind of the last topic, and to call this a topic is a stretch beyond stretches, but I just feel like mentioning it. Through a fluke that I'm not going to explain right now. I'll explain it later. I'm going to be getting a DJI RS5 to review. This is I would put this decidedly in the high-ish end of prosumer gimbals. It's certainly not the crazy, like, what is the model? The RS4 Pro? Let's see. Really quick, just looking this up.
This does look very fancy.
It is fairly fancy, yes. Okay, I'm thinking of the Ronin 4D. So it's not the Ronin 4D where it's a whole camera with a gimbal built in and a separated lens and sensor system. That, if DJI, anytime, send one over. I want to, but no, through a fluke, I'm going to be checking out the RS5. It's I believe arriving tomorrow, and yeah, it is basically just a high-end gimbal. It has a screen built in. It does it can do subject tracking, motion tracking. I don't know if the version I'm getting has all of that fully enabled, because there is a separate module that you can click on that does more advanced versions of this. I don't know if the base model, which I'll be getting, can do that. Here's the module in case anyone's watching the screen. And that just clicks onto the top of it. But yeah, anyway, so I'm looking forward to checking this out, and it's not going to be right away, but I will be making a video about this and showing off at least some of what I'll be doing with it. Anyway, so yeah, all that being said, it is a pretty cool gadget too, because it solves, and this is a criticism I've actually had about DJI, and one of the things I've complimented Insta360 about. Uh, One of the problems DJI has had for quite a few years is they come out with increasingly more advanced hardware, but a lot of times it doesn't really solve pain points that are common in a specific type of product. One of the things that is super annoying about most of the big gimbals like this is the arm segments. When you want to travel with them, like, they lock into place. And each segment you have to manually, like, throw a switch to unlock it and loosen everything up. This new one, when you turn it off or put it in sleep mode, it just engages those locks mechanically. That's it.
Okay.
So it will just rotate itself into a locking position for travel. You don't have to do this manually, which is, I'm going to say, amazing. Also, if anyone's ever balanced a gimbal, it's really, really annoying to do, because typically what you do is unlock, and then you have to just physically, like, push on the parts to slide them around. And in this, they added fine-tuning knobs that you can just twist and really perfectly and precisely position each of the segments. So, yeah, they actually fixed a lot of things in this that normally DJI... Look, I like a lot of what DJI makes, but they have a notorious problem of not solving these kinds of problems, and they actually did it with this. That's something I always associate with Insta360. They actually, like, when they look at a product, they go, huh, everyone hates these 6 things about the product. Can we fix that? And every single thing that I've ever seen them do, they come out with the product and it's like, holy crap. Why is, like, everyone needs to immediately drop what they're doing and just copy this company. So I guess for once, DJI got the hint. So yeah.
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, it looks cool. Like a fancy gimbal is always one of those things that, like, I would like, but I have exactly zero use for it. It would get used maybe like once a year if I was gonna do something fun.
Right. And also, you don't really make video.
No.
So yeah.
I mean, maybe one day, but I won't be happy about it.
That's fair.
I don't like video as a format to make myself. But you know,
yeah,
the way things are going, the number of people who are increasingly unable to read, it might be necessary.
Oof, that's a bleak way to end that subject.
I had to do it.
But no, you're also right.
Kids these days won't read my articles.
You kidding? Kids these days won't even watch a full YouTube video. They need it in TikTok form.
Well, they'll either get it in TikTok form or they'll watch 7-hour YouTube video essays. And I can't do the long video essays usually. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Every time someone, every week or two, there's like a new like crazy video essay that is all over like Blue Sky and Discord and my Discord channels, and it's like 3 hours long, and I'm not clicking on that. I'm sorry. I can't, my brain doesn't work like that. There's like a couple exceptions I can make. If it's a new like H-Bomber guy video, or sometimes if it's a new Defunctland, not even every time, because there's still videos that he's made that are a couple hours, and I'm like, all right, I gotta like set some time off for this. And then I just never get to
it. Believe me, I know something about that. I literally just
because that's a movie. That's a whole ass movie. That's a movie, right, or a season of a TV show. I have seen video essays that I think are a little bit shorter than like the HBO Chernobyl series, but not by much.
Okay, first I do know what you're talking about because I accidentally left a video unfinished in a tab like 2 weeks ago or something, and I just rediscovered it earlier today, and so I finished watching it. Um, but yeah, I get that. Also, I'm gonna call you out because I know absolutely you still sit and watch those long explorations of like um all of the different uh all the different bomb sites in Fallout. I know you
No,
watch that. You
I
didn't
don't.
bullshit.
I have not watched like that's just not a genre like my brain can do. Again,
Maybe it's just
the
Zach.
the like one that like H Bomber guy did, or the two that he did, I watched because again he's one of the exceptions. But I generally I I see the like 3 hour 28 minutes time code, and that's too intimidating for me to start. And again, there's variance. You know, some people that's just how long the video is because they've got that much information. Sometimes they're very clearly wasting my time. So I know
Yeah.
there's sides. I'm not gonna paint with broad strokes here. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, in
the
truth, it's usually wasting the time.
yeah.
I've tried watching a few of these, and I find it really, really staggering how obviously they are trying to just waste time. Um,
Yeah, the gimbal looks cool though.
yeah. That being said, there are there are a few YouTubers that I found really impressive, and I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Oh, Megaleg. He's the guy who broke open the whole honey scandal. Watching his videos, look, I'm not gonna say that he is super concise or efficient, but wow, like he just rolls through stuff like boom, 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 boom. Here's what happened, and it's like,
Yeah.
could you maybe go back and explain a little more on that? No? Okay, cool. Moving on. Though he does still waste time in other spots, which is funny. Regardless. Yeah, so Gimbal's cool. I will very possibly, probably, maybe have things to say about it next week. We shall see. So, that's all the things I had prepared. Do you have anything else that you wanted to bring up? Do you have any thoughts or comments about Galaxy XR?
No, because
In
I
your
just
15 seconds
yeah,
playing with it?
no, I just put it on to do like see the initial few screens, but now it wants me to type in a Google password, so that's more of an involved process.
I can imagine.
I guess for shout out, I'll put this in the YouTube chat. I did a blog post about digging out my iPod Nano
That's right.
to use it, which was interesting. Also learned, I don't think I knew this, that there was a battery recall for this iPod, and I believe my iPod was sold within the time frame that Apple said that you should check and do a recall. But it hasn't exploded yet, so mine might be fine. I don't know. It was doing, the thing where like the battery icon is green and then it goes down to red, and then like 20 minutes later it's back to green. But that might just be 20-year-old lithium ion battery, not necessarily a sign of imminent danger to myself. So it's probably fine. It's my other iPod Nano that has a cooked battery. In fact, it might be here.
Famous last words. It's probably fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm maybe I should get rid of this because I'm not sure if it's like an ongoing danger. But I have my 4th gen iPod Nano here, which was great when it worked. I had like videos on this. I had some iPod games. I had Sonic the Hedgehog on this. But it does have a pushed up battery.
I was just gonna say, did it go puffy?
Yeah, it went
Sean Puffy Combs.
It went dangerous pillow mode on me. So I don't think it turns on anymore, and I'm not gonna try it right now. But that one was sad because on a like feature and design basis, I like this more than the first Nano. But it's cooked. Here's my other one. Behold, little guy.
The champion of the story, as it were.
Just a little guy. So yeah, you can go read that if you want to read that.
Suddenly, and I don't know why, but I'm actually impressed with your hero image, because after seeing you hold up that iPod to the camera, I noticed how reflective it is, and you got zero reflection on that screen in the actual hero image. Nicely shot.
Yeah, I mean, I just took that when I was outside on a walk. It might have been like overcast. But when the iPod is on, the screen is pretty bright.
Fair enough.
So that helped.
Um,
And all these pictures are also iPhone pictures. Because again, the 2x lens on my iPhone 15 is a pretty good shitty macro. Still not enough to replace like my actual macro camera or anything close to it, but it's pretty good.
okay, now that I get down, I do see a little reflection in at least one of the images. It's not bad though. Like you're right. The screen is pretty bright, so it holds up.
Yeah,
But
and it's also like not a very good screen, and there is a little scratch in it. I don't know if it's visible in any of the pictures, but there's a scratch on like the top right that like distorts the colors a bit. I don't see it on here.
Wait, top right? I don't see top right. I see one.
Yeah, there's a scratch lower
at
than
the bottom
that.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a different one.
Okay.
Also, rare. It's not a red bench, but it is even more rare image of snow.
Oh.
In that. That was after it snowed, and there was ice everywhere, and I almost slipped.
Yeah, I do not. So far, no snow here, and let's keep it that way, please. Mother Nature, don't f with me, right? Can we make that deal? But yeah, I'm no snow so far, so if any snow does happen around here, I promise I'll try to get out and fly a drone around and make snowy videos with it.
There were 2 weekends in a row where I was like, this is it. I'll finally get to use the big battery. The first weekend, ice everywhere. Not the weather kind. I'm sure there was some of the other kind as well. And then second weekend after that, there was actual snow. Power didn't flicker even a little bit. So once again, I haven't got to use. I have not got to test the battery for its intended or one of its intended purposes. The other one being like camping, which I don't do. I'm especially not going to do it when it's dropping down to the like 5 degrees wind chill outside.
Yeah, there is something funny about this, and just for those out there who have illusions of what tech reviewers' lives are like, whenever we look at products that we want to review, we always say, hey, it'd be great to have this thing for this purpose, and we'll totally use it because this is a thing we do all the time, or at least sometimes. For example, I used to go camping. I like going camping. You know what I have not done ever since I got a power station that is great for camping? I have not gone camping. Not once. I've literally packed up to go camping one time, and then the people I was supposed to meet kind of bailed, and well, they didn't bail, but I wouldn't have been able to find them. They couldn't go where they intended to go camp. So yeah. Yeah, my camping trips have gone to 0 since getting a power station. And then I have at least gotten to use it because there have been a couple of power outages, but for the most part, yeah, it has not gone through as much use as I absolutely expected it to do. And here's Corbin in a similar situation, though you never even planned to go camping. And yeah, you,
Probably not. It wouldn't be something I do of my own volition. Let's put it that way. If I'm like bullied into doing it, I would. It would be a possibility.
um, I will say,
Wilderness cast, power station plus satellite internet. Yeah, coming to you live from the deep forest.
I
Um,
mean, I'm down to do that.
Live stream of us getting attacked by a bear.
If if I had a way of getting usable internet and like it wouldn't cost me a fortune, I actually would totally be down for that. But we'll see if that ever gets to happen. RambleCast live from Crater Lake. No one's even allowed to go to Crater Lake now. That place is closed for 3 years or 4 years, I forget. And for anyone that doesn't know, this was a decision by the federal government, though it's actually something that started before Trump. But they decided that they're going to shut down Crater Lake for several years while they basically remake a bunch of trails, upgrade and improve a bunch of stuff, also that they can go to also they can basically make it a better tourist location, which, look, that's actually not a bad idea. I'm not against this. I just think it kind of sucks that they're closing the whole place for multiple years in a row. Small thing, but it is what it is. Also, Austin saying that I have so many great astrophotography places nearish. I don't. I'm not going to say you have no idea because I don't know. But have you heard about what's it called? The is it called the Black Sky Project? Whatever it is, there is this chunk of Oregon, and also it goes into Northern California, and I think it also touches a little bit of Idaho and Nevada. Anyway, whatever it's called exactly, it is a project where they went around to all the Dark Sky Project. Okay, I didn't want to call it that because I thought, isn't Dark Sky the thing that Apple bought? But anyway, yeah, it was this big project where they went around to all the businesses, all the people that live in this giant area, the Manhattan Project, and they basically worked with them so that they could either shield their lights or install different kinds of lights, things like that, so the light does not project skyward. And they minimized as much light as they could. That way you have almost no light pollution in like this many thousands of acres, which is awesome. For what it's worth, that's all still like a 3-hour, 3.5, maybe 4-hour drive from me. So it's not like I'm actually that near it, but I'm nearer than anybody else who's listening. So, you know, I would actually like to go do some astrophotography in that area, but not while I'm trying to make money. I need other income before I can start making that type of project happen. But yeah, it is, my understanding is, outside of basically the ocean, this is the second largest dark sky location in the world, I think. Or it's the largest for sure in the United States. I think it's the second or maybe third largest in the world. Again, not counting oceans. Oh, well, Hoopy. Okay, yes. I'm not saying that no one's closer to a dark sky location. I'm saying that no one's closer to this dark sky location than I am. Let's see. Also, for what it's worth, that whole area is barely populated in the first place. So it's not like they had to do a whole lot to make it a dark sky location. Um, anyway, let's see. As I skim back up and make sure I didn't miss something. Hoopy saying it's just that one trail down to the water that's closed. You thought? Not what I heard. And maybe they have plans to keep other parts or open or reopen them at some stage, but the trail down to the water is definitely being closed for 3 years or 4 years, whatever it is, at Crater Lake. There's other parts that surely should not require as long, and it would be weird if they didn't reopen them earlier. But from what I had read at one point, they were saying the whole thing is getting shut down. So I don't know. Maybe they have it properly documented somewhere. I don't know. Let's see. Was there something else? I don't think so. But yeah, it would be fun to do some sort of camping thing. Also, Corbin, I will say this: when it comes to camping, do camping the way I do it, and you'll mind it a lot less. My idea of camping is literally take a tent, and like a cooler of food, go out to a location, set up the tent so you can sleep in it for like 6 hours, and then pack up the tent. You've got the food, eat the food, pack up everything else, and go. Don't try to do camping the way that camping people do it. That sucks. Tons of work, tons of gear, all that. No, it's not worth it. And the only other way to do it is like the glamping people who they truck out like a freaking huge RV and they're really just living in a portable house. That's not camping. Right. No, just do camping where in the middle of summer when the weather's good and you don't need to worry about anything. Like, go out that way. Take a few hours, sleep under, sleep in kind of the night sky, but protected from the bugs. That's the way to do camping. I'm sure there are so many people who would get mad at me and be like, no, you need to go catch your own fish, and you need to go out there and sleep in the rain or the snow or whatever crap those people do. They're crazy. I'm sorry.
No, that's what my ancestors did, so I wouldn't have to.
Yes, they fought the war against nature, so you wouldn't have to.
Yeah.
So you'd be free to spend all your time in your apartment.
Yeah. Oh, with my virtual reality headset on, looking like a dork.
I mean, hey, if that's what works. Let's I guess really quick before we leave this topic and very likely wrap the show. Would you suggest anybody use an iPod Nano in 2026?
Probably not. Because if you want a standalone music player, you should probably have one with a battery in it from like this decade.
Okay, there is that too.
That would be good. The requirement for like Apple Music or iTunes is annoying for some people as well. Some of the iPods you can put Rockbox on there and then it's fine. Mine was actually one of them. You can do that, and that's what I did at the time because iTunes was such a piece of shit on my computer. I don't remember if I was still using the iMac G4 or if I got something newer, or I say like I got it, the family computer. But iTunes that is like maybe my earliest experience with like, wow, this is really slow piece of software on my computer, is like upgrading to like iTunes 7 on that PowerPC G4 could not handle it. Slowest, laggiest piece of shit application. But now I've got Apple Music on a M4 Pro and it can just power through it. Although it seems like it got worse on the new macOS update, but I haven't updated yet, so that's not a problem.
Fair enough.
Yeah, get a different music player that has more than 4 gigs of space.
See, that right there would have been like my number one stopping point
I
of this.
ironically the hard drive iPods are more future proof because it's not too terribly difficult to put a SD card or compact flash adapter in those and get a fuckload of storage. You can't do that with these. They're all glued together in weird flash memory solutions. So
Mm-hmm.
I could put like 12 albums on mine and that was it, which is fine because I mostly listened to the same handful of things over and over again, so didn't quite matter for that. But yeah, get something else.
Yeah.
Get something also that your phone can't do. That's also nice. Like not that I use it like a ton, but my whatever H&D phone this is, whatever Nokia phone this is, I was using this as like kind of a music thing for a while, and it does have an FM radio on it, so I can listen to my local NPR affiliate when I want to, which is nice.
Makes
FM
sense.
radio, get some more storage. Yeah.
All right. So the suggestion for the professionals: do not do this. Just use your phone.
Yeah, phone or a better standalone player.
Just use your phone. Honestly, just use your watch. Your watch is a better player than this thing. Anyway. Okay, so well, with that, I think we are pretty fully out of topics. I believe Corbin is probably anxious to start playing with his Galaxy XR, which is sitting idly by him now, very possibly close to fully charged, very possibly not.
I don't think so.
Probably not, because the stream is only just crossed the hour 31 mark, and that battery, I'm pretty sure, is going to take even more than 90 minutes to charge. So
yeah, I don't know what the capacity is, but it's charging from my other battery at looks like 15 watts. Yeah, something like that.
That's going to take a while. Anyway, so with that, we're going to take it off. I hope everyone enjoyed the show. If you'd like to support this channel and what we're doing here, there are links down below to Cash App, Streamlabs, and Patreon. Believe me, any little bit helps. Of course, huge thanks to supporters of the channel: David, Diablo, Austin, Carson, and also formerly Alyssa. Let's see. Oh, and of course, if you're doing any shopping and on Amazon or Autorama, check out CodyTombs.com. I've got a page there for product recommendations where where I link to a few things. If you click through those links and buy anything from those sites, then it helps me out. Let's see. Also, just as a quick reminder, if you happen to be in the mood to buy a anti-gravity 360 drone, they are still on sale for a couple more days. I think it's 15% off. I might have that wrong. I forget. But check out my site. There's a link to buy it from the Insta360 store. And it's probably the best price it's going to have for a few more months. I wouldn't be surprised if it drops again soon, but we'll see. Also, to be fair, now that DJI is basically banned from the US, on the drone side, not the gimbal side, fortunately. Since the drones are now basically banned from the US, Insta360 is basically the only mainstream company, or, well, Anti-Gravity, their sub-brand, is basically the only mainstream company that's going to be selling camera drones for the foreseeable future. So, yeah, if you're in the market, there you go. All right. Anyway, I will be back this weekend for some game streaming where I will be playing some Overwatch more because I want to talk about the recent news that just happened with Overwatch. But I'm also going to be hopping on and playing through some Halo campaign. Going to be starting with the Master Chief Collection, beginning to end, maybe? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, that'll be a thing as well. Carson, yes, Insta360 is a Chinese brand. Why are they not banned? I don't know. I honestly, like, the ban literally just names DJI and Autel. It does not name anything else. It just specifically names two companies. And so Insta360 only started making drone. Well, again, it's their sub brand Anti-Gravity, but they only started making drones with this model. And the US government is not known for being quick to update their laws. So we'll see what happens. Maybe this eventually comes for Insta360 as well. To be fair, Insta360 does not have the known connections with the PRC or CCP, whichever you want to call it at this point. They do not have the same connections that DJI does. And they do not have some of the scary, air quotes scary, details that are going on with Autel. So read into that however you like. And Carson's saying the US market really is behind in this space. GoPro isn't competitive anymore. Yeah, no kidding. Believe me, when I bought some stock in GoPro and watched that just sink like a stone, I realized pretty quickly how bad off GoPro is doing. And then when I got one to review and realized it was by a landslide the worst action camera there is to work with, oh boy, I need to write an article about my thoughts on GoPro sometime. It's not positive, but that's besides the point. Anyway, with that, I will say I should go before Corbin loses his mind, because he definitely wants to get off stream so he can start playing with toys. So with that, I hope everyone has an excellent rest of their evening, or good rest of their week, and I will catch you all this weekend for game streams, or next week for another RambleCast. Good night, everybody.
Bye.